Hi, it's Jeff.
And Denise from Mousesteps.com.
And this is episode number 106.
106. It feels like we just hit 100.
That's right, of Mousesteps Weekly.
Sponsored by Theme Park Connection in Orlando, Florida.
They're going to be sponsoring Reed Sorensen, NASCAR driver, this week at Daytona, plus always changing merchandise online and in the store.
It's always fun to see what kind of new stuff they can come up with.
That's right.
And PixieVacations.com, they have a new offer, a free gift if you're staying at Disney's Art of Animation and book with them. Tickets dining package for 3 nights or more. You can check on their site for the dates and all pertinent information.
Sounds great.
Yep.
And more camping rentals this week. They provided us with a camper again this year, and we're going to talk about that the whole show, all the wonders of Fort Wilderness.
I hope everybody likes Fort Wilderness.
Well, we love Fort Wilderness.
I do, yes.
Starting with check-in, drive-through check-in.
First time I have ever done the drive-through. I've always checked in, at the walk-in area.
Right. How relaxing. I mean, already Moore was here setting up the camper for us. Just totally stress-free. As a matter of fact, if you're coming from out of state, you can actually take the Disney's Magical Express for free and just meet them there. They have everything you need, the chairs, cooking utensils, and a golf cart.
And a golf cart. The golf carts are included with the package price. And they also will do shopping for a percentage higher than what the items cost. So they said sometimes, guests will want beer or something already,
cold beer
chilled.
in the fridge. How horrible. Now, I should mention that we did have to pay for the campsite itself, as anybody would booking through More. You pay for the campsite, you just add them to the reservation, and they do everything else for you.
And this is a premium site. It's not very much more expensive than a preferred site, but you get a nicer grill, a nicer table. You get more room between the RVs, so it's
much
really
more
nice.
room to park if you have extra cars. And you'd be surprised, the table, it's so nice. There's no splinters in your butt with those tables.
And we were really close to the Meadows, which was nice. That's really a great location to be at.
And here is a look inside our trailer, number 18.
And this is smaller than what we had last year, but I actually found it a little cozier, and I actually preferred it a little bit more.
I loved it. I'm sad to see this because it reminds me of how much fun we had together, and I wish that we could be back there.
And it's nice because we had the satellite TV, so we could watch, all the Disney channels and
of course.
Pretty much everything.
Yeah.
Much
Stacy, we could watch Stacy nonstop for a week if we wanted.
But we don't have cable at home, so it's weird. It's like how do people get to choose what they want to watch? I'm so used to having
channels.
4 channels or 5 channels.
Yeah, so this thing had 2 TVs with remote control, full cable, high-speed internet. It's everything you need, everything we needed to keep ourselves going, doing our thing while we were there.
Right, and I cooked, and there's a refrigerator, and
yeah, you
so
cooked breakfast right there, but you did not know how to start the little fire grill.
I'm not going to do that.
It's old school.
Yes, with a lighter.
That's right. But I like the smell of that.
I actually like the smell too.
And there was a microwave there, everything again. And we had our own bedroom. I guess we'll see that in just a minute.
The only hard thing was, I was in the walking boot at the time, which I'm not now. I have a little, they call it air cast, which is like a brace for my foot.
Right.
So getting up and down was a little bit, I was a little concerned, but it was okay.
This was the only time we ever saw the refrigerator anywhere near empty.
We went to Costco after this.
Hours after this was taken, you could barely close the door. Denise really knows how to fill a fridge, I'll tell you that, and a freezer for that matter. There was no hardship in food or beverages.
I was like, we have to go to Costco now.
And here's a look at the bedroom, another TV, plenty of room back there to hang up your clothes, and it was a queen-size bed. I will mention that I'm going to link to last year's show in the show notes, so if you want to compare the various campers and accommodations, we can do that.
And what we really like about More is that they're, a family-run business, and
right.
They're honest and just really great to deal with.
Talking to them, you can tell they love what they do. They love camping. They love Fort Wilderness. They know everybody. It's great. Oh, here is the shower. I actually really enjoyed it. It was a good shower.
I never
High
used
speed.
it.
Yes,
so.
you didn't. You wash your hair in it a few
Oh, that's
times?
true. I did wash my hair.
Lest anyone think that Denise didn't take a shower, because of the whole boot situation at the time, we came home for your full shower.
Yes.
So you were clean.
Now I can be in bare feet, and that's very exciting for me.
That is very exciting, and also I thought it was very exciting to be right in the center of Fort Wilderness and hear all the sounds.
Like the frogs every night, they were so loud.
Oh, I love the frogs.
And we met a viewer named Charlie and his family, and he ended up taking our picture.
We put him right to work, actually.
We don't get a lot of pictures of ourselves, so that was
thanks,
very nice.
It was a pleasure meeting him and the family, so thank you.
Several times.
That's how it always is. You know, you meet somebody, and even though it's a big, giant place, Walt Disney World, you still see them a few more times.
And here is, we're on a golf cart here.
Quail Trail.
We
are
on
Quail Trail, and I have the GoPro here, and we're going for a ride, a very dangerous drive, because I'm driving, I think.
It's not a dangerous drive. This actually goes 18 miles an hour, the cart that we had, so we had to be careful around the loop.
It's a convertible.
It almost felt like a car sometimes.
Well, they said it's the fastest one, so it's interesting they gave us the fastest one. Oh, and here is one of the comfort stations, which was close by, and also the Meadows trading post and the pool and everything. So Quail Trail, good location.
Very easy to access everything.
So the next morning we went to Trail's End. We actually ate at Trail's End 4 times.
Right, we did 2 breakfasts, a dinner, and a takeout.
We're starting with breakfast. Oh boy, I hope you're not hungry watching this.
And these are the Mickey waffles. You can either do the chocolate chip or the regular.
Yes. And you'll see there is some smoked salmon up there. I think I'm going to pan up to that. And next to the smoked salmon, Country Benedict. It's sort of like an Eggs Benedict, but a special version with pulled pork. Oh boy, was that good.
And if you like bacon, obviously you can eat as much as you want.
Crispy bacon. I love crispy bacon.
It's nice, it's not like 2 pieces for $5 or something.
And we're following up with plate number 2, breakfast potatoes with beef tips and a traditional Eggs Benedict with Canadian bacon.
And you like that one?
I loved all of it. And I think we're going to see some moonshine.
Last year, the moonshine was on the buffet. There's no alcohol in it. It is really their equivalent of Jungle Juice at Boma, and Sanaa, I believe, carries it as well. And so we requested it, and they did have it.
And it was great, as always. Now we're going to take a quick look at Crockett's Tavern, which started out as a full-service restaurant long ago.
I never ate here as a full-service restaurant.
I don't think I actually did either. It was pre-1996 when the changeover happened, so it was a long time ago.
And they still use it for overflow dining, which we've eaten down here several times.
For Trail's End, you mean? Mm-hmm. I really like the decor in here. It's sort of reminiscent of the Davy Crockett TV series that was 1954, 1955. You remember that?
Nope, I don't remember it.
I wasn't alive either. Don't feel bad.
There's a canoe, and you see like Buddy Ebsen and Andrew Jackson. Fess Parker over here.
Of course, Buddy Ebsen and Fess Parker, both from the Davy Crockett TV series. But one thing that's missing, and I'm very sad about that, is the grizzly bear.
I know, and that was when I have pictures of myself, and I think we have a picture of the two of us by that bear.
Oh, yeah, the bear, it was iconic. It was there since the opening, and we talked to one of the longtime workers there, and apparently kids would always touch the bear, and I guess they broke the bear's fingers.
Like even teenagers would like hang off of it, and that's what we were told about it.
It would cost way too much money to fix the bear, so the bear will not be coming back, and that's very sad.
Very disappointing.
And there is a keel boat. We believe it's from either the TV series or the movie. And there is a coonskin cap, but the real one with the full raccoon. Davy Crockett, the real Davy Crockett, when he wore the raccoon skin cap, it had the actual head. Oh, and there's Fess Parker. I actually had the opportunity to be in the restaurant with Fess Parker. He was doing some kind of appearance for his vineyards, and he's holding Betsy. And there's the bear. See the bear up there?
And that's almost 25 years ago now. Who knew he had the wines for so long?
I know. So now we're going to see a little change that took place since last year's visit. As you can see over here to the left, there is this empty spot where the golf cart was parked. That is where the old lawnmower tree used to be.
And we met a family who they were actually looking for the lawnmower.
Yeah, we noticed they were walking around sort of aimlessly talking to each other. And didn't you?
I did. I overheard them asking about the lawnmower tree, and I told them it wasn't there anymore.
So here is a video from last year's vacation, and you can see the lawnmower tree. It kept getting shorter and shorter. I mean, when I was little, it was a live, full tree. I guess lightning hit it, and it died, and they kept cutting it shorter and shorter, and you can see there is the mower.
And there used to be a sign here.
And the sign said, "Too long did Billy Bowlegs park his real slow mower. Alas, one warm and sunny day, aside a real fast grower."
And we were talking to somebody in horticulture, and they said that the tree just died. So
very sad. I guess it's backstage. They're not sure what to do with it right now. This is from last year. You could see the stagecoach over there, and I noticed things looked a little empty this year. And we're going to see this year's, now we're at this year's video, and the stagecoach is gone. We're not really sure why or if something else will be replacing it. I know in the past they've had totems there.
Similar to the ones at Big Thunder Mountain and
Canada,
over at Canada.
Stuff like that. So you never know. I mean, hopefully they'll bring something interesting to that position.
Or flowers.
Or flowers. Or grass.
Grass
always makes a good thing. So now we're going to take a look at the settlement trading post. Perhaps we'll play a nice game of checkers.
And I always like the Mickeys on the seats.
Yes, I love that too. I'd like to buy that chair. Would you want those chairs?
I
for the house?
would take the chairs.
Have you sat in it?
I don't know if I've sat in it.
I wonder if you feel the ridge of the mouse.
We used to.
So now you've got me hooked on these pressed pennies. It's all your fault. I never collected pressed pennies until you started buying me them.
But we didn't buy any of these. I didn't really like any of these ones.
Well, later on we'll show the musket Mickey one.
Right, I like really special ones. Like I picked up a Walt Disney signature one for you at Disneyland.
Yeah, that was nice. Oh, merchandise. So let's take a look. They actually have resort-specific merchandise.
Right, they've had these for a couple of years or so now. So it's they'll switch out a tiny bit of it, but it's nice. At least they have
see
something.
coonskin hats.
Oh, do they have them?
Yes, look, there they are.
Okay, because we did get asked about those, and I haven't answered her yet.
No, we can answer.
They do have them.
We have an answer. We just found out. And you can buy a gun with your coonskin hat.
Well, you're not
See?
going to... Well,
things haven't changed that much since I was a kid.
Not like when you can bring on a plane.
No,
probably.
I wish they had this shirt in adult sizes, because I would definitely want one.
I do, too. We need to lose, 100 pounds, so we can fit into it.
Even 100 pounds. Now, poor Mickey, he lost his musket, but he has a stick. He's holding a stick. What will the stick do if somebody accosts him?
Nobody. He's at Fort Wilderness.
Oh, that's true. Well, animals though. A bear.
There's not. I don't think there's very many bears here.
This is new. The fishing at the fort, the sponsorship, by the way.
Right. That's something that just came about. I think a few months ago or so. I had never seen it until then.
So this is something we always love, going to the beach area. I've played the tetherball when we were little.
When I was a kid, I was so good at tetherball, and I loved it. And I can't play it yet because of my foot.
Well, you're close though. You're almost to the time where you can play.
I want to play some tetherball.
So, and we love the beach, and we'll come back later in the show and show you at night. It's a hopping place. Everybody lines up their chairs to watch the water pageant and wishes.
Not much going on during the day.
Well, tetherball.
Tetherball.
Or you could go to the marina and rent a watercraft.
And we have done that, but not this time.
Well, again, a lot of things were curtailed this particular trip, which was good. It meant we had a lot of time for relaxation.
And new stuff. Things that we normally wouldn't do.
That's right.
But I like the pontoon boat very much. I used to do a lot of the little mini speedboats. What do they call them now?
The sprites, the water
sprite, water
like
mouse,
that.
water
something.
Yes,
the
I think
boats.
they're called water mouse.
They're called the little white boats. I think we're going to see them.
Are they? They're like blue and white.
Yeah, see right there.
Yes.
And they have the little wing in the back.
And I love them, and I've always loved them, but it's been years since I've been on one.
Now, we did ride this boat a number of times to the Magic Kingdom, including once we went at midnight when we went for extra magic hours.
And this is hopefully the last time I will ever take a scooter on a boat. It was probably the first time and the last time during this trip, because it is not easy to be bringing it on.
Well, the problem is as people get in and out of the boat goes up and down, water level, and there's a curb.
There can be an inch, and you're trying to, people are pushing you on.
It's very difficult
I
to
didn't
get.
Like that.
Yeah, that's. They need to have one of those metal things like the monorail.
Oh yeah, I think that would be much easier.
So now we're at Tri-Circle D Ranch.
Right, and this used to be actually a petting zoo with donkeys and Minnie Moo and so many different animals.
And Minnie Oink. Do you remember Minnie Oink?
No, I don't
There was
remember.
the pig that had the Mickey Mouse design.
I do remember. Yeah,
I have pictures of Mickey Oink.
Did she actually have the name?
I made that up.
Okay, well, that wasn't her name then. So this is why I didn't know.
By the way, we just saw pony rides. Even though there's not a petting zoo, there is still pony rides for the kids, which looks like a lot of fun.
Right, $5, and they just need
nominal
an
fee.
adult
It's not like they're killing you with the price there.
Right, and this is really awesome. This is a 1907 Dragon Calliope. We have seen it many times. I guess it was gone for a little while, and this is not used very often at Walt Disney World, but it was used last year in the Independence Day pre-parade, which we never saw. Well, we did see it, but they didn't use the Calliope probably because of the rain.
They had a different type of horse-drawn carriage, almost like the Budweiser one, but painted blue.
I went looking for pictures of this online yesterday. It was used for the Mickey Mouse Club Circus in around 50. 5 or so, and it's been used through the years on and off. It was in a Toby Tyler movie.
Lots of history.
There's a lot of history.
Fort
to
Wilderness itself contains so much history. Here they have a nice exhibit on Walt Disney and Walt Disney World and horses.
And you can see the calliope is down here as well. This is the calliope
Model,
being
right?
and being drawn by the horses. This looks like more like the Toby Tyler type, time period.
But anybody can walk to this museum. It's free. You hit a little button and you can hear a spiel explaining all this, and then you can read the signs. There's a lot of history.
I'm not sure I'd call it a museum. I mean, it's a room, but
right,
it's still
but it's
there's a
small
lot
museum.
of history here, right?
And that whole wall there is about Walt, including a sketch of Walt. Walt used to sketch a horse growing up. That was one of his inspirations for sketching.
And there's pictures on the wall here that have to do with where the horses have been, like the Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween party. You can see the Headless Horseman.
And I made a new friend.
Yes, you did.
It
says no petting.
Apparently, I didn't have pets. That was an optical illusion.
He just put his hand on it.
And here's another friend we did not get a picture with.
No, it was too far away.
This is Laguna Gator,
Yeah,
who's in
that's not
retirement.
Laguna Gator.
Gator used to be the official mascot of Typhoon Lagoon, and we found him retiring in the Florida
He's just a
swamp.
tiny little alligator.
As far as we pull back, he looked menacing at first.
He's really tiny. I mean, you don't ever see big gators here, and it's not just. I mean, I've seen them at the Polynesian.
We've seen gators,
I've seen them at the
plenty,
but not that often compared to how often we're on property.
And here's the penny I like, number A, the classic musket Mickey.
And I got that for you, like you didn't know I was getting it.
Yeah, there it is right there. And that is another reason it got me hooked. I actually bought a pressed penny book now because you've got me so many of these pennies.
Well, I've learned also you need to get the shiny pennies because it's not like they're giving you a shiny penny.
It's your own penny.
I know. I used to not realize that.
One of my favorite parts of any trip is swimming. I love going to the pool, and I had a little pattern where oftentimes it was really hot, and because you couldn't swim, you would stay home and do some work on the computer. So I would go, oh, here's the jacuzzi, by the way. Never even went in it. It was so hot.
Oh my gosh. And I love the jacuzzi. I would have been in that every night if I could have been. And this is like a horseshoe shape jacuzzi. And it's something that was put in like 4 or 5 years ago. So when you go camping at Fort Wilderness, it's nice that you can have, a jacuzzi and the nice pool.
Right, and I love that. I think that is a great benefit. Just to get back to my little pattern there, I would take the golf cart, which of course I loved, drive it to the pool, and there was never a place, all the seats were always filled when I got there, so I would just leave my bag of all the stuff in the shade. And since I was alone, it was perfect. I can go, and what I did here, went right up to the slide. This is awesome, this little slide here.
I don't think it would be awesome for me, though.
Right. Well, I know you're not a slide type person, but look at it this way. You can experience it without even going underwater through the magic of the GoPro.
Right, and that's how I have looked at it.
That's right. And you'll notice the water tower there, that is actually the old River Country water tower that used to be at the very entrance to River Country at Fort Wilderness.
But it's painted differently.
Right, now it has the Walt Disney World, the Fort Wilderness Railroad logo on it, which is a defunct train that used to go around the park long ago. Anyway, this is your first ride. We're going on the slide here. What do you think?
I probably will not be on it.
You don't like the ending here
no,
underwater?
I don't think I would do very well with that.
Well, we'll give you another chance to experience the goodness. I tell you, I love the pool. The pool, the water is perfect. It's recently, actually, I don't know, within the last 5 years or so, they redid this pool and added
about
the slide.
5 years ago, they redid everything.
Right. So here's one more trip on it. It kind of reminds me of the same coloring of the old River Country slide, the Hoop and Holler slide, and we'll take a look at that later. So anyway, always enjoy the pool. That was a highlight for me going our daily swimming. And next year, hopefully you can join me. Now that you can go in.
Yeah, I mean, I'm at the point now I could do it. It's just I was in the walking boot at the time. Now I can go in the jacuzzis and stuff.
That's right. But you did come out and hang out with me, and we chatted. Got to sit under the umbrella a little bit, read the book there. So here is the River Country now. This, you might remember, that's the old entrance to River Country, which still exists, and it is where the backyard barbecue is now. It's sort of the entrance to
Right.
the Mickey's Backyard Barbecue. This was taken, as you can see, in 1991.
I only went once or twice probably growing up to River Country. You know, my family just didn't, maybe my family came here more than I did. I was usually in the park or at, you know, where we were staying at Polynesian.
Right. So you don't have big time memories
I
of
don't.
River Country. I can tell you this, the entrance has changed just in the last year. There used to be right over there to the right, there was sort of a cage where they would have birds and animals and things kind of greet you as you went to River Country, and that has been removed.
We have pictures of it from last year.
Yeah, well, it's they must have cleaned house because in the 1 year since we last had our vacation over at Fort Wilderness, this cage has been removed, as well as the lawnmower tree is now totally gone, and the wagon that we saw.
Right, a lot of, definitely quite a few, you know, not huge changes, but, you know, noticeable.
But people might say it's kind of cleaning things up, you know, making
Right.
it look nicer. It's just because we like all the history that we'll notice these things. But anyway, so we'll take a little trip back in time to River Country. I remember as a kid going there. It was my first experience with what was, I don't think anyone knew it was a water park back then, but they had the tube slides where you could go, and I had never done anything like that before. It was kind of weird, though, being in Bay Lake. That was always a little freaky, because when you went underwater, you'd see all these weird creatures.
Oh, like fish and stuff?
Yeah. Do you remember this, by the way?
No, I just remember, this is the only way I actually remember seeing it in person is how it looks now. That doesn't mean I didn't see it. It just a very
We've
long
seen it
time
so
ago,
many
a couple
times in
ago.
ruins.
Uh-huh.
That's actually called Slippery Slide Falls, and the pool there is the Upstream Plunge Pool. That's my father about to plunge. That's Walt Lang there, side view of Walt Lang.
See, I would have never done that. I mean, that's
Oh no, that's
it scares
definitely
me
that's not
to
for
look
you.
at that.
And there's a young Jeff here hamming
And
it
it
up to
was
the camera.
deep, right? You said it was pretty deep.
Well, very deep. Here's our friend Erica provided this great video of it in action, so you can actually see. It would not be for you.
And is that actually, that was Bay Lake right there?
No.
Oh,
That was a pool.
The other area was Bay Lake.
Bay Lake. I'll show you Bay Lake later. But that was the Upstream Plunge Pool. There is what's left of the Upstream Plunge Pool. It was not at all connected to the lake. It was strictly a nice swimming pool.
It's funny because I remember some people like taking pictures like over the fence last year, where now it's really open.
It's pretty
I mean,
wide
if you're
open.
going over there and if it's allowable, because sometimes they'll block it and sometimes they won't. You know, we're going to Mickey's Backyard Barbecue. This is what you can see right there.
Right. Well, when I was there, I was actually reminiscing about the old days with a cast member. So it's certainly not a problem. It's in a public area. It's wide open so you can see it. So they really don't hide this. Actually, we saw some bikers driving by when we walked in there. So not in here, but, in front of
And
the
the
fence.
old bathrooms are still there. Although they've updated them a little, there's still one really old hair dryer, which is very interesting.
Now there I am on the old Hoop and Holler Hollow, which was the first water slide I'd ever gone on. And here you could see that is actually Bay Lake water, what you're seeing right there. So
And now you couldn't
it's called
do that.
Bay. That was called Bay Cove. In there is Bay Cove, and that is the Bay Bridge. All of this kind of is right connected to Bay Lake, and that the rockwork in the background is where the kiddie pool and the kiddie slide and all that stuff was.
And because I think of mostly amoebas, and probably because you have boats in there, I mean, you're not allowed to swim in Bay Lake anymore.
Well, the park opened June 20th, 1976, and closed November 2nd, 2001, and there's various reasons. It was right after 9/11, so that probably had something to do with it. Anyway, we're sad to see that go, but now we're going to move on to Trails End. Dinner. As you can see, they have these nice new high chairs where you could sit and get a drink. They have a little bar there that you could see, the Crockett's Tavern bar, and there's their selection of beers. Quite a selection.
It is. I don't drink beer, so I just drink occasionally some wine or.
Well, they
a
have
fruit
plenty of
drink.
that too, and I know you like this
The
cornbread.
I didn't eat very much of it, but that's one of the highlights here at Trails End is the cornbread.
Well, Trails End dinner never disappoints, does
No.
it? I believe this is your salad, plate number 1 of many.
Yes, and for those who don't know, Pioneer Hall and Trails End, I mean, they share a kitchen, so the cornbread that you get and the number of items are the same.
That was, I believe, plate 2 of yours, or
Well, I
possibly
like
3.
they have the best potatoes there.
Oh yeah, no doubt. I love that, and I think this would be my starter there with some chili, some peel
and just a
shrimp.
few shrimp.
Just a few. I like the shrimp, and it's cornbread salad.
I haven't had the cornbread salad.
It is a Trails End institution.
I don't know. I haven't. I guess I just had
As
the
the
regular
chili.
salad.
The chili, wonderful. I can't say enough about that chili.
And Trails End, it's $22.99 for adults for the buffet for dinner, which is not a bad deal.
It's one of the best deals for
It
a
is.
buffet in all Disney property. I believe that. Oh, it's still mine. I think we have some salmon there, some ribs,
chicken,
some right, and sausage there. Oh
Same
boy.
chicken again as Hoop-Dee-Doo. So they have again share a lot of the same items.
And as we'll find out soon, you can get that chicken as a takeout.
Yes, and it was good. I enjoyed the takeout.
And of course, all you can drink is included. And this is some dessert. I think you took a picture of the chocolate cake.
Yeah, a year or two ago, they actually started upping the items. They had like red velvet cake and a whole bunch of other desserts.
So we did something we've never done. We tried takeout one night.
Right, and we've heard good things about this. It was about $10, and we ended up with 2 pieces of chicken and a couple of sides.
And there it is. I'm holding our takeout right there. We did the Lone Rider, which ended up being enough for the 2 of us.
Right, so I mean, it's a lot less than going to the buffet. And you get to have the same chicken.
Right, and we did upgrade to all white meat, which made, I think it gave us a little bit more chicken.
And that's, one of our meals, so.
And there's you.
Good.
There's you enjoying your chicken meal.
I don't look like I'm enjoying it, but I was.
Well, I think you were probably just take the picture.
I know, I wasn't expecting a picture probably.
But that's okay.
And there's our camper, and just in a second you'll see me coming down the road in the golf cart, and that was one of the highlights really for us. I never get to drive golf carts like ever, so
right.
This is the only place I've done it the last couple of years.
And we had a lot of fun. We'd go on adventures. There was a few nights where we just went around and explored the campsites and all the different places. We found some really nice displays. They had already started doing the 4th of July displays there. So, yeah, it was fun just to sort of explore, see more than we could normally see, Oh, so now it's time to go to the campfire show. It's something we did. I think we did it 2 times.
We did it twice.
We were there.
And the second time we went to see Frozen, and it was the only time I have seen more guests come in after the campfire show than, usually they leave after the campfire show.
Right. Normally it's all about the sing-along and the marshmallows and the campfire, Chippendale, and then the crowd sort of thins out for the movie. Totally the opposite for Frozen. Frozen is unlike anything I've ever seen. And we'll see a little clip of that. But here is the sing-along we always enjoy. The cowboy here has a very distinctive voice.
And he's been here forever.
Oh, yeah. I can't remember a different cowboy, actually.
Right. And Chippendale are here every night. Here's Dale. We met Dale twice because that's who came to our side. And
why don't you do your traditional explanation of Chip and Dale, how to tell them apart?
Well, there's several ways, but mostly the Dale has the big nose, and then Chip has a chocolate chip nose, but also their teeth are different.
Well, Dale has a meatball nose, I guess. And he was just
meatball.
he was demonstrating making s'mores. Seemed like he wanted to try some s'mores of his own, I think.
And we enjoyed making the s'mores here, and we brought our own s'more kit.
Look at everybody loves them though. It's just so popular, and look at how happy there you are with Dale.
I know it's so much fun, and this is the only of the this is the original campfire and the only one there's.
Look at the size of my marshmallow.
Why
Why is my marshmallow so giant? Because you bought extra Stay Puft marshmallows or something.
They were big, really big ones.
So here is the sellout crowd for Frozen. Of course, due to lightning, it got canceled right in the middle of watching the movie, so there was a lot of disappointed Frozen fans.
I didn't get to see the sandwich song, which I was very disappointed with.
But one thing, everybody was singing along, and we thought that was really nice.
It was, and it was just such a big crowd.
Yeah. So this is a very small crowd, something you wanted to do. It was the first time you've been able to do a nature walk, even though it was slow going because of the boot. We did it.
Right, and there's a couple of little baby armadillos. We had noticed them a little bit in the distance, and they're so cute. And then and then we saw quite a few deer, and it was the only time where I've had so many that came much closer to me. I don't know if there's not as much area for them to eat, in the woods now or something, but
Well, they know you can't chase after them when they see your boot.
They
know that you're slow going, so they feel comfortable with you.
More of them on the pathway than I've ever seen before.
They were very friendly, and it makes, it's a great start to an evening. to go on do the nature walk from Fort Wilderness to the Wilderness Lodge, because I don't think we've ever done the walk and not seen some nice wildlife like this.
Well, if you go earlier in the day or at sunset,
dusk is a good time.
That is the best time to go. If you're going to go at like 3 p.m., I'm not sure you'll see as much.
If you do this path and you see something, he's like, "What? You talking about me?" No, if you see something that looks like a little orange on a tree, don't eat it. It's the worst thing ever. Remember we tried those little oranges?
A couple of years ago we tried that.
Luckily,
and
we didn't
nasty.
get poisoned by those.
Right.
It's not
I've learned
good.
you don't pick things you don't know what they are.
Never
it looks
have
so
wild
good.
food. It's a mistake.
And we didn't make it. I mean, we made it to Disney's Wilderness Lodge, but we didn't walk back through the magic of editing. We are now back at Disney's Fort Wilderness
Well, we wanted
Campground.
to take a wagon ride, and we wanted to make sure we got there in time. It turns out there was very few people on the wagon. I guess there was only 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 people on the wagon, so not a bad time for us.
Right, I guess the first one had been much busier, but this is one of my favorite things to do at Disney's Fort
Oh,
Wilderness.
sunset! How can you beat that? A sunset wagon ride through the woods. We've saw so many things, and it's a great deal. $8 for a 45-minute ride.
Right, and for kids it's $5, and it really is a great deal. We were told it might go to 30 minutes because maybe kids don't always want to be on there so long. I've never heard kids complain.
That spot you just saw used to be a place where they would park and you would have a fireworks wagon ride, but due to all the mosquitoes and the bugs, it was bad for the horses, so they said they aren't doing that. This is something new. It's a bat shelter.
I know, I've never seen this here before, but I guess the bats actually live there.
And it's good for the bats. I guess it's not to keep them away. It's a healthy thing for the bats.
Well, it's also healthier for the campers and for anybody who goes here because the bats will eat the bugs.
And the wagon ride also takes you through some of the campsites so you can see all the decorations. And there's where we stayed last year in the 300 loop.
And that wasn't a bad loop, but I like where we are better.
All right, we're back on the beach, and those lights can only mean one thing: the electrical water pageant.
And that is one of my favorite things. Also, I mean, I remember as a kid watching the water pageant.
I remember watching it from in the lagoon, in Bay Lake. You used to actually be able to go in the lake back then. They didn't have these amoeba scares and things like that. So I remember putting my head underwater, and my ear, you could hear the motorboat, the motors running, and it was scary because you'd think they would chop you up, and then you'd come up and you hear the water music and everything. So I don't think that was a good thing. I'm glad that they don't allow that anymore. But I just want to say that this has been going since 1971, and it has not changed in the order and the floats themselves since 1977. So it's very consistent.
I thought it was 1996 that.
No. In 96 is when they changed the music to include the Little Mermaid music.
Okay, I know back then there was a time when there were a few different floats.
Right, that was pre-77.
Wow.
So after that, I did some research, and
okay,
that's pretty amazing. I mean, well, I remember the old floats too. When it first opened, it was the Main Street Electrical Parade music.
Right,
and
I
then
remember.
They switched to the water music, and of course a salute to all nations, especially America. Yes. So yeah, we love that, and also enjoyed staying and watching Wishes. It's a great place for Wishes.
I like the area where the wagon ride used to go to a little bit better because you can actually see Space Mountain and Cinderella Castle. But the only thing is, you want a flashlight to make sure any wildlife. You don't want to see.
Oh yeah, definitely. But it's certainly a great place to go. It's a great way to spend an evening, and it's very relaxing. It's not like it's overly crowded. And we didn't even cover everything. I mean, we had the hoop-de-doo that we had recently done, archery.
And the Segway tour is something that I really have wanted you to experience. It's been about 6 years since I've done it, and this is the only place on property I believe you can take a Segway tour anymore. So because of my foot, maybe in a few months or so.
Right, and the same with the canoeing. We would have definitely done the canoeing. We had a great time. It was a real adventure last time.
It was an adventure, yes.
So there was so much more to do that we didn't even get into. We love Fort Wilderness, and I can't wait to get back already, especially around the holidays, like the 4th of July. They'll have decorations, and Halloween every year, Christmas. It's just a wonderful place.
And all of those, they have golf cart parades, and I really enjoy those.
Big thanks to More Camping Rentals for making all this possible and making it it just so easy.
And they are just a great family to deal with. And it's a family-run business, and we really appreciate it.
Also, Pixie Vacations, our official travel sponsor.
Right? They have that great offer for Disney's Art of Animation right now. Definitely check out their website for more information.
We'll also have some more Paris videos thanks to our friends at Pixie, Mr. Steve Griswold, plus some giveaways.
Right? I'm very excited about that. And also, thank you to Theme Park Connection. You are going to be in the
big
garage.
news. Yes, I just found out today. Theme Park Connection, I'm going to be helping them out in the garage at Daytona. I'll have full access there, so that's very exciting. I'm a big race fan, so I will try to get some good stuff.
Very exciting for you.
Very exciting. So anyway, that's another show. Thanks again to everybody for listening, and we'll see you all next week.
Have a great week.